You want to? Good. You ready?
Yeah, I'm good. Hi, everybody.
George, thanks so much for joining us, mate. Congratulations on the fight. You did put in a great effort and went all 12 rounds. It was an awesome fight to watch. Thank you for joining us as well. You never looked hurt throughout the fight. How did that feel? Because the last couple of rounds you didn't seem to want to engage. Was that frustrating for you? How are you feeling about the fight from an analysis point at this stage?
Yeah, look, I thought I hurt him a few times, but that's his game. He likes to run and move, and if he feels that he's ahead on the scorecards, he'll do his thing. But I'm not going to take away from his night. I've been there before when Lopez did that to me, so I'd be a piece of shit if I'd done that to him. But there is a few things where I thought, they were should have been pulled up. But all the best to him. He's the champion now, from what the judges said, and we do it again.
Was this?
Do you agree with the cards?
I felt the fight was very close. From what I've been told, I outlanded him. I outpunched him. You saw the fight, so he had a jab, but there wasn't much else. I think he might have landed one or two right hands, but that's about it. There was really nothing else. So I don't feel, my body does not feel like I've been through a 12-round war like I was with a Lopez fight, because we went through it. So that's just a few marks. But if you jumped in there with me too, you'd be the same. Hey, look, I'm the man in the arena. At the end of the day, I made this happen. If I didn't choose this, to protect records, I could have fought an easy fight. And look at me, I knocked someone out in 2 rounds. But I take the risk, and that's part of the risk. You take risk, you reap reward. But it was his night tonight, and all the best. And you sure that the adversity that I've got to go through now, I'll be back hungrier than ever.
It might be tough to ask this question now, Georgie, but stylistically, have you got thoughts on what you need to change up to beat him in the rematch?
Yeah, I know what I got to do to beat him in the rematch. We had them game plans. Unfortunately, just we couldn't implement the way we wanted to. The ref did let a few things go as well, which should have been, pulled up a touch. But it is what it is. I'll go back to the drawing board with my team, and congratulations to Devin Haney and his team for the win. They came all the way out here, like I did with Lopez, and they got the win today. But I'll be back.
Do you expect a rematch? And if so, when and where would you like to have it?
As soon as possible. Do it tomorrow if you want. I feel great, so it is what it is. And hopefully, by the end of the year, November, we do it again.
Yeah, 100%.
Look, I gave him the shot. No one else was going to give him a shot. There was too much politics involved for him and Lopez and him and Lomachenko. I straight away was a man of my word, and I said, okay, let's just make sure it made sense. Obviously, he's going to want to make sure it makes sense on his end, but let's get it done. And let's give the fans a great fight. Let's fight.
George, where did it go wrong for you, and do you feel you were as sharp as you were against Lopez?
Yeah, look, I was sharp in points. I landed some very good shots. I hurt him a few times. I felt like every time I landed clean, he was hurt. So, he just fought his game off that jab. He just boxed off that jab and did his holding. He did hold a lot. He did get low. Every time I tried to exchange, he held and dropped into that hip. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, but there's no excuses. No excuses.
Did he do anything you didn't expect in there or didn't plan for?
Yeah. Look, I thought he would have fought a little bit more, but he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. This is a high level, it was a high level chess match. I tried to make it a little bit more aggressive. He boxed his fight, and the judges had him the winner tonight, and all respect to him and his team. And this is boxing. Like I said, I'm here never to protect the record. I've had a hard journey, as we know. We've been through the hardest journey, I feel, in boxing, and I'll give him his applause tonight. Humble in defeat, and and in victory as well.
George, would you like to fight? George, would you like to fight in Sydney, in your hometown, maybe the new stadium?
I think the way they do it, and Lou and Bob can probably answer this one. I think he'll be back here in Melbourne, but I love Melbourne. Look at the crowd today. Look at the fans behind me, and even after the defeat, they all stood there and were so applauding of the fight. So I love that. I respect that so much, and thank you to the fans and to the media and everybody here today. And I'm very proud to have brought a great fight in Australian boxing.
George, fantastic performance. What would you say to the how this is laying the path for the Australian boxing for the youngsters in the future?
Yeah, look, this is not the end for me. We will get it on again, and I will handle my business next time. But at the end of the day, this is a great thing for young kids, amateurs, aspiring professionals, and I'll continue doing my best. And I'm very proud to have brought a big fight here, and proud to bring another big fight again by the end of the year. And there'll be more to come for these young amateurs, these young professionals, and that's why me and my father have Ferocious Promotions to help these guys. I got to the top. I did get to the top, and I'm still at the top, with or without a belt. I know who I am as a fighter, as a champion, and the belts, don't make me a champion. It's who I am in here, and who I am, fighting the best of the best. So this brought Australia together. This brought the Greek community together, and I'm sure this brought the world together as well.
We love you, George.
Thank you. Thank you.
They've been inspirational to kids with your story, your bullying,
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, look, it's an amazing thing. Look, I've come from very humble beginnings where I was bullied and had to fight through that. So I've been through a lot more adversity than just a boxing fight and tasting defeat for the first time tonight. I'm very honoured to have my kids here. I had my two are here, my other one's in the back there, my baby. So to have them ringside, it means a lot, and I hope the memories for them is something great, and I'm sure they're going to get to see it again, and Dad will be champion again with the belts, but I know ultimately they don't care about that. They care that Dad's happy and safe.
Question for Jim. Jim, did the advice change in the corner throughout the rounds as the fight was going on and George started to go down by a couple of rounds? Did you feel like you had to adjust the game plan, or what were you saying to George in the corners?
Oh, he basically just had to put more pressure on Devin, and he just let Devin get too comfortable all the time. So if you're going to be comfortable with that jab, you're not going to be able to get inside. So, George had to basically just execute what we did at training, and the way we prepared was extremely well. I mean, we had a better camp this time round than what we did with Lopez. But their game plan was to bank the rounds. And then if you're letting them bank the rounds with that jab and moving, and obviously, there's no excuses at all, but the referee basically, with the holding and stuff like that, usually, you get warned and maybe a point taken off. But when the other fighters, his momentum is always stopped. That there means that George's got to reset. But at that point, Devin's resetting with that jab. So, but look, there was a few mistakes there. We know that, it's evident. I mean, we're professionals, mate. So the thing is, we're going to execute and look at it all. And George has to start fast. That's what he has to do. He's got to make Devin uncomfortable from the get-go, not let him bank the rounds, and then you're playing catch-up. So George, actually in the 6th round, he started to roll, and he was very comfortable, and you can see he was starting to land. But you're playing catch-up. It's as simple as that. So some of the shots weren't as sweet, but that's the name of the game.
One thing I want to say too, he could have taken a much easier route.
Easily,
There was a lot of money on the table just to fight anyone, and didn't have to go. Could have gone into the 22,000 seat indoor arena and sold it out, basically fighting anyone. And frankly, that's what most fighters do. He fought this for personal legacy. He also fought it for the good of boxing. And lastly, and I really mean this, he fought it for the good of Australian boxing. He believed that this country deserved a stadium fight with a great champion defending against the best available contender. When Loma went back to Ukraine to defend his country, he didn't make it an option for me to get anybody else. He said, you go make a fight with Haney, you do what you have to do to go make a fight with Haney. And I'm not going to tell you that I didn't say, are you sure about that? Because I did. But he wanted that not only for himself, he thought it was right for the sport, because the best need to fight the best. That's how we elevate our sport. But he also has a vision for the future of boxing in this country. You have a lot of up-and-coming young talent here. Boxing in this country has never been stronger than it is right now. And George making that decision to fight the best in a stadium here, draw 42,000 people, who I think came in and had a great time today. Applaud this man, because he's a great champion.
And that goes down to my confidence as well. We fight tomorrow. I'm going to beat him tomorrow. So that goes down to my belief in myself, and nothing changes. We will change game plans again, and we'll make go back to the drawing board. But my confidence will always be at a sky high, and that's who I am as a person, as a fighter. And I think we all need to be confident in anything we do in life. So it is what it is. That's the sport. Tennis players, soccer teams, rugby league teams, AFL teams, they lose, they win, they bounce back, and they win the championship at the end. So, it's not about where you finish. It's about your next steps. This is not the end for me.
And not only that, it's the lightweight division. It's the hottest division. So if you have a look what it's done in the past, you've had Lomachenko, the champ. He went out and chased Lopez for that last belt. Lopez beats him. George Kambosos has been the mandatory unknown Australian in New York. He beats Lopez. Devin Haney comes down here. And that's great for boxing because you get champions constantly ticking over. You don't even got that one champ. So, it's great for boxing. The lightweight division is the best division at the moment. And we get another opportunity at the end of the year with a rematch clause in Victoria. And I think this time round, we'll just have to execute a little bit better and just give him a bit of a head start. We've got to start fast.
Stephen Cureno, KO Artist Sports. Congratulations, man, on putting on this incredible event here. It's because of you that we're all here. Looking at the jab and how that just was able to kind of neutralize, is it maybe footwork you got to work on to get into to move it, head movement? What is it that you were lacking that he was able to land it?
I think when I started to apply the pressure in certain points of the fight, we saw how uncomfortable he was. I try to bank on my counter punch because, as we know, I'm very destructive as a counter puncher as well. But he just worked that jab, better than what I did with my jab and got off a few times when I should have, put the pace a little bit more. But we saw when I started putting the pace, he was in a point where he would hold, hitting with good shots. And I thought I was never hurt in the fight, not once. He was hurt, I feel, multiple times to the body and with some good shots to the head as well. But that's what it's about. He boxed well. He used what he had to do to win the fight, and it is what it is. He got the win tonight, and I'm sure I'll bounce back.
Thank you.
Question for Lou and Bob. Who impressed you guys based on the undercard?
I mean, Jason. This was Jason's night on the undercard. I mean, honestly, for me, he's his promoter, but I've always been a fan of Jason. But tonight, I thought he put everything together. I thought it was the best performance of his career.
Yeah, Jason and his brother, because they've, particularly during the pandemic, fought so often in the States. I mean, he's almost regarded as both of them regarded as American fighters because they fight so often on ESPN, and they're very, very popular.
One last thing. I'm a big proponent of women's boxing, and that's been a sort of a cause for me over recent years. Tyler Robertson is a good little fighter. I expect her to eventually win a world championship. I thought she impressed me tonight.
Lou and Bob, if say for some reason Haney decides to vacate, which would be a possibility, what would happen then? Would George automatically fight for a title next up?
Well, nothing's automatic, but if he moved up in weight, for example, which I don't think he's going to stay around at 135 much longer, frankly. But if he moved up in weight, for example, titles would vacate. The likelihood would be George would fight the biggest fight that could be made for a vacant title. And that probably, if he, God willing, the people of Ukraine are rescued from the carnage that's ripping them apart right now. That fucking madman Putin, is forced to stand down, and Loma gets out of there. Loma and George would be enormous.
Yeah, and I got to give respect as well to Vasily Lomachenko as well, because obviously, as we know, he was the first choice originally, and obviously Devin was there as well. And what he's doing is much bigger than what we're doing here today. So if that is the case, then I would welcome that fight with open arms. But let's hope Devin, as I gave him a shot, he stays at 135 and we do it again, because I've got to get that back now. I have to.
That's glad George said that, because this has all been a bittersweet time for me, because I am so fond of Lomachenko. Vasily is one of the best advertisements for the sport of boxing. For him to turn down this fight in order to fight for his country, where he didn't have to do it because the Minister of Culture in Ukraine gave him permission to come out and do this fight, and he refused because he felt that his duty was to defend his country. You got to give him all the props in the world, and Lou's categorization of what's happening and who's to blame for what's happening is dead on. I mean, Mr. Putin is a disgrace to humanity.
Don't bring politics into boxing.
What?
That's not politics, brother.
That isn't politics, right? You don't.
That's humanity, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Final question for George or Jimmy.
Actually, that guy said about my face too. So, I know you're not very liked at the moment, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
Fine.
We're good.
We're good.
How much are you looking forward to bouncing back better and bigger and better, mate?
Yeah, look, I've been through the adversities many times. So, sometimes, look, true champions bounce back. The greats, Muhammad Ali's, my idol, Duran, all these guys bounce back, and that's what makes their legacy. So, this is what's written for me today. Then I will bounce back hungrier than ever, and that's what it's about. The best find the best. So,
The greatest beauty of boxing is not the fact that people get knocked down; it's that they get up.
yes,
Right.
And it's what you do when you get up.
and I was
And
knocked
George
down.
Kambosos will get up. He's already up.
I was knocked down by Teofimo. I got up and won them championships, and today, obviously, I was not knocked down in the ring. I never really hurt, but in defeat, yes, I'm knocked down, and I will bounce back. You know, and thank you to the country, everybody here in Melbourne, the media, the whole of America. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Bob. You know, my team, obviously, my father co-manager Jim Kambosos, my other co-manager Peter Khan, and ultimately, no one believed in us for a very long time. We had to prove that to win these championships on overseas, and again they're going to doubt us, but that probably just lit up the flame even more. So I'll be back.
And I think
Thank you, everybody.
I think your two beautiful kids, they're going to remind you about Daddy didn't bring that belt home, because they did tell you, Daddy, go and get that belt. So I know that you don't need that motivation, but that was so beautiful when your two kids said that in the dressing room before you walked out. So that there is just going to give you a little bit more when this thing gets around, and depending who it is. And let's see who it is at the end of the year. If he vacates, well, then we can talk business again and see where we're at. But definitely Australia. That's right, Lou?
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Valia, Leo.
It's all good.
Bring in the
Yeah.
other
Are they here at the moment, or they're in the dressing room?
Where's the kids? Oh, they went. They ran, grabbed me.
Sorry, I'll let you.
No, he was saying something.
So, media, if we can, we've got a big
George, take care, man.
for Team Haney, so if we can try and move over and fill the gaps of this end, please. That'd be great.
Well done, George. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
What? Thank you. See you.
That's the name of the game. That's why we love this game.
Yeah.
Oh, please, can we
What
move
is
this
this?
way? So we can, otherwise we'll be really
Lou,
squished.
what is this? To give to Haney?
No, it's just Kambosos. Come on.
He's my little boy.
Okay, what?
So hi to Bob, so hi to Lou.
Andrew just won?
Andrew just won.
There he is. This is what it's all about. We'll see, maybe future champion.
How did you win? Leonidas.
My Spartan warrior.
He's asleep in the front.
And Devalia, my little princess. Thanks, everybody.
How did Andrew win his fight?
By the way, isn't it nice to hear sportsmanship? Like, isn't it refreshing when you don't see, you know, this is how you react to being knocked down. You get up, and George is ready to continue his career.
How did Andrew win his fight? Anybody know?
He's going out now, Bob.
What?
Oh, he's out now?
He won.
Oh, he won?
Yeah, I think it's a knockout.
Knockout?
2 knockouts for the Maloneys. That's great.
Yeah. No, we're good. Thank you. You know, it's not. I don't think. I'm not sure. I have known. I think he's going to have to see you after this fight. But as you saw, he's a big kid. He's a big lightweight, and he's also only 23.
Yeah.
He just turned 23. He's a kid. He's going to get bigger. He will not be at 35 much longer. You know, George is almost really a perfect 35 pounder in terms of size. Devin's a big hit. Yeah.
Like Loma can't go to 140. He's 135 is his top weight.
Guys, if you want to have a question, can you put your hand up? Should we have some hand and I'll press the microphone for you?
Carlina, he's on the way in. They're on the way.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
First off, I want to thank Allah. You know, alhamdulillah. Without Allah, none of this would have happened. I want to thank Melbourne, all the people in Melbourne that came out, all the people in Australia that came out in general. It was a hell of a turnout. When I came out, it was crazy. I looked around, I was like, damn. And then when I seen all the fire, I'm like, let's go. It's time to go to work. So thank you all the media. Thank you everybody. Thank you George for this opportunity. A lot of these guys at the top, they wouldn't give me my shot. I've been begging for my shot for a long time now, and I finally got my shot, and I got a lot of jury here.
Devin, it's amazing what you've done here tonight. It was an incredible show. Thank you so much for coming out and putting on that performance. You got a lot of hardware, and most importantly, you got your father next to you, which was a wonderful thing to see happen. How important was that for you in your corners during the fight?
Yeah, more importantly, more than anything, more than the belts or anything, you know, I wanted to go in the war with my father. Whether it was for 1 belt, 2 belts, however many belts, it was more important for my dad to be there, and it was a blessing that he was able to come in the day before the fight. So it was a hell of an experience. I'm happy that me and him accomplished it together. We've talked about this since we was 8, 9 years old. So this is a dream come true for the both of us.
How difficult was it to keep George off you? You did have a lot of success with the jab all throughout the fight. How difficult was it to keep him off you? Because he does fight at a high pace and he does throw pretty quick.
I wouldn't say it was hard to keep him off of me. Honestly, I just was staying relaxed. I could have picked it up, but I just wanted to. I knew that I was, you know, in his backyard, so I just wanted to stay smart and fight my fight. So it really wasn't. It was more like when I wanted to fight, I was fighting at my rhythm and taking away his best attributes, and that's what I did. I wouldn't say that he had anything that was like, he never showed that he was like on me. So for you to say, oh, to keep him off of you, that's like kind of like left field.
Devin, you're obviously a big 135-pounder. Do you think you'll stay and defend these belts, or is going up a consideration as well?
I mean, I got to talk with my dad, Bob, Top Rank, and see what's next, what makes the most sense.
George didn't make the weight.
Yeah.
Is he gonna make the weight?
But you know, at the end of the day, I'm a disciplined fighter, and but everything got to make sense. At the end of the day, this is a business. But you know, the world knows me, and they know my character, and I'm not ducking or dodging nobody. But everything got to make sense. I am a huge 135-pounder, but I want to give my nutritionist James Lockwood his flowers, because I hired him in the beginning of the camp, and he made the weight cut so easy. I wouldn't even say it's a weight cut, because we just landed the plane perfectly. Like, it wasn't like I didn't have to use a sauna suit or a sauna. Normally I would use like the sauna suit, the bath. I didn't have to do none of that. We just worked out, ate healthy, and yeah. So thank you, James, for making this camp super easy for me.
Stylistically, Devin, it seems like your style is, you know, something that George is going to struggle with unless he was to change something drastically. Do you think there's anything that George can throw at you that would help him win a rematch?
I mean, what kind of question is that? Like, you know, like what I'm.
Well, let me word it differently.
What would I say? Oh yeah, he could. If he does this, he could win the rematch. Like, come on now. No, there's nothing that he could do to you know, you could maybe have success better in a rematch, but win, that's like left field once again. But he, at the end of the day, you know, he has to go back to the drawing board and, you know, make adjustments. I can't really say what exactly, because anything that he does, I'm gonna be prepared for. Like I said before the fight, he was saying a lot, but I said I will handicap him of his best attributes, and that's what I did. He really didn't land any clean, solid shots, and yeah. And if you look at my face right here, obviously we all know that my cut band couldn't make it in. He got stuck at customs, and I had to get a replacement, which, you know, I appreciate him coming in and stepping in, but I didn't have an in-swell. Watch the whole fight. I never had an in-swell the whole fight, which, you know, I make no excuses, but, you know, we were headbutting, and but that's what caused this swelling on my eye.
What was it like coming out to such animosity from the entire crowd? They were pretty vocal in being against you. How did that feel?
Yeah, it didn't feel that bad. Like I said, when I first came out, they were kind of booing me, but they were cheering. I was hearing cheers and boos at the same time. So it was a hell of an experience. It was like crazy, but I silenced the crowd pretty much. I didn't really hear the crowd too much. Like maybe when I had tripped, they had went crazy. Excuse me, but other than that, it was crazy. The fans were crazy. Hell of an experience and a dream come true of mine.
Devin, congratulations on your win, mate. Where do you think this puts you in the pound for pound rankings now that you're undisputed lightweight champion?
I mean, I gotta be you know, high up on the pound for pound list, because if you think about it, they said the lightweight division was the best division in boxing. They said it over and over. 4 young kings, this, that, but there is only one top guy in the lightweight division. There is no more dispute, no more this, no more that. I have everything you can possibly get. Email, franchise, listen, whatever. No matter if you like it or not, you can. I'm still the email champ and the franchise champ. So now what?
And Bill, how's this feel for you, mate? Being able to get to Australia and witness your son become undisputed champion, and welcome to the country, mate.
Oh, it's amazing, man. God is good. God is the greatest. I didn't think that I was going to make it. Dev, he went and signed some things. Lou helped out. Bob. It was a team effort, you know, to make this event happen as a collective. You know, the Kambosos' team, Peter Khan, they did a tremendous job working behind the scenes to make this thing happen, and we're truly grateful.
Question for both Bill and Devin back here. It's Marcos. First for Bill, how good does it make you feel? How emotional was it to be able to see your son make his dream come true?
Absolutely. I mean, it's like a dream come true. It's still kind of surreal in the sense of this is something that Devin started, a journey he started when he was 8 years old. And to have all the belts right here, you know what I mean? I think, you know, it probably won't sit in until tomorrow or something.
And for Devin, I know you got a lot of criticism. You kind of mentioned it about, you know, the belts and how you got it. How much of a validation is this for you to kind of look at those people and just stick your middle finger at them and say, look, I proved you guys wrong?
Yeah, I mean, this is very, like, this is a great feeling that, you know, everybody that was doubting me, everybody that said this and that, they came up with this email champ thing, and now the email champ is the top dog, undisputed. There's no dispute. You cannot dispute any title. It comes after everything that I have here. So this is a dream come true, and I couldn't thank God enough for this. And yeah, it's fuck all them, like I said, because fuck them. I'm the top dog now.
Yeah, man.
Devin, if George wants a rematch here back in Melbourne or Sydney, Brisbane, if he wanted that, he was able to enact that clause, that contract, would you happily have a rematch here in Melbourne?
I mean, it's really up to my team. We want to come up with something that makes sense, you know, up to Bob, my dad, to you know, come up with a game plan. You know, everything got to make sense. But if they're up for it, then I'm up for it. But like I said, this is a business. And before the fight, he told me, it got to make sense. And we did. I made sure, me and my team made sure that we did everything that to make sense, whether I had to take, less money, whether we had to travel, whether I had to come without my dad. We made a lot of sacrifices to make the fight happen, and it all paid off.
Devin, what about Loma? Is he on your horizon? Is he someone that you want to take down?
Of course, like I said, I will fight anybody. I am a true fighter. I will fight anybody, whoever it is. They're all on my hit list still. With me being the top guy, I'm still aiming for the biggest fights possible. And whoever's next, we talked to Bob, and we'll see.
This question is for Devin. How does it feel to be undisputed?
I mean, it's honestly, I don't even feel like it. Just like it's like a dream, really. Like it hasn't even sunk in yet. I dreamed of this moment for many years, and like I always thought, like, damn, I'm gonna cry, like undisputed, like I'm gonna cry, but like, yeah, but it just really hasn't sunk in yet. But I'm just happy that my dad is here to accomplish this with me. And it's a blessing, and thank you to the Victorian government to make this happen. Thank you Lou, thank you Bob, thank you to my lawyer John, thank you to Top Rank lawyer, thank you to everybody that did everything to make this happen. I'm thankful.
Devin, Mohammed Mubarak with EURweb.com.
Okay.
Tell us how historic this fight could be to you in your soul.
Yeah, I mean, I said when you came up with the Jack Johnson did this many years ago. I said that history repeats itself. Many years from now, a young kid gonna come up and he's gonna be looking at this fight, and he's gonna have to go across the pond wherever, and try to make history. And that's what I did today. And I just want to inspire people, the fighters today, to fighters, in the past, coming up, whatever, that, to bet on yourself, because that's truly what I did. I trusted in my skills, no matter, who it was in the corner. I knew that I could win the fight. When it went down under, as you guys would say, and bit down and got it done. So I just want to inspire people. All that cross the street, this and that. I did everything I possibly could to make the fight happen, and it worked out.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how great is this fight for you?
10, 12, 13, 14, 20. Yeah, this is huge. This is huge. This is huge for me, and man, it's like it's crazy because the world was saying so much about me, but my team believed in me. I believed in myself. I came up here with a group of soldiers that was ready to go to war by any means. Many things was happening, going on every day was something new, but my team believed in me. I believed in my team, and we understood.
Number one.
You want to be a great champion, you have to take chances, And a lot of people were sitting out there going, "Oh, he's disadvantaged and he's going to get screwed and whatever." He came here believing he was going to be a champion. And by the way, you also manifest your own destiny a little bit. I believe in karma. I mean, I don't think it's an accident that his dad's sitting next to him right now.
Yeah.
He didn't know till Friday night that his dad was going to get
So
him.
you gave me the call, Lou. Tell the truth.
All right.
Yeah.
He didn't know till I called him.
Yeah.
And that's unbelievable. And the fact that I really believe karma had a lot to do with it. This young guy over here got ice water in his veins. I mean, he came here to be champion, and look what he got in front of him.
Yeah, and Lou played a huge part in this, and it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Lou. So that's why, as we go on, Lou is a part of the team, and we're all gonna make a group effort and to see what's next.
Devin, Auntie Joy, hello, darling. I am just so taken back.
Hey! What did she say? Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I told you to come. You said I don't know. It makes me nervous, but I'm so happy to see you here. Thank you. Truly, thank you for coming.
I'm just beside myself being here and watching you fight, and how brave, honest and courageous you were.
Yes, ma'am.
But I also want to say to you that as the dream, you are the G.I.U.K.N. Remember, I told you that.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're now the dream of our community here on Wurundjeri Woi, Wurrung country.
Oh, wow.
And
Thank you.
I want to thank you especially, for your request for welcome to country. And it
Yes,
looks
ma'am.
great up
Yes,
there on
ma'am.
the screen.
Yes.
And my family being involved and so forth.
Yes, ma'am.
Having your dad here is just amazing. I'm so glad. Your mum, all your family. But, most of all, it's about who we as coloured people are. And, my heart was there for George as well tonight because he's done a great job for this country in getting our youth out there. But as you explained it to me, that's the reason I'm here, is because you train to be professionals. You train to do what you do, and I realise all of that, but my heart was not in it until you asked me to come. And I'm just so proud to be here.
Thank you.
Congratulations and much love to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wrap it up, Lou.
I think that's that. And
Last question.
One more question.
You recently took your Shahada last year, and I want to know how Islam has affected your boxing in general.
Islam has changed my life, not only my boxing, but my life. And I'm so blessed. Alhamdulillah. It changed my life, and a lot of people around me as well. So a lot of people have took their Shahada around me, and I'm so blessed. Alhamdulillah. Thank you. One more for my sister.
I just want to say congratulations to my brother.
Thank you, Bella. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to all the media. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Dad. Thank you to my tremendous team. Everybody played a huge part in this, and I definitely couldn't have did it by myself. So thank you guys.
How do you feel today, Bob? How do you feel, Bob? How do you feel today? What do you think about Devin?
100%, man.
All right.
Thank
good.
you, Melbourne.
Thank you,
Melbourne.
Haney time. Haney time.
That's 4 o'clock. That's right. So happy. Collecting the belts.
Bill, did Devin execute the game plan
To a T. Oh, hey. Hey, Deb. Hey, Deb, this is what I was working on. This is what I was going to be on right here. This is what I was going to be on right here. The robot.
The Billbot.
The Billbot.
That we didn't have to use.
Thank goodness for that, Hank. Let's take a picture with Deb.
Devin, Kambosos land anything to throw?
Somebody got
Yeah, I'll get out.
India.